Over 30 years of business advice in under 15 minutes. That's what I'm going to share with you today in this video. Let's go. I've been in business for over 30 years now, running a commercial real estate brokerage. I've completed over 2 million square feet of transactions and deals for my clients worth over $1 billion with a B in value for them. And throughout that time, I've had many successes, but it didn't come cheap. So today I'm going to share with you 10 lessons to save you time and thousands of dollars so you don't have to face these problems by yourself. Point number 1, it's okay to start small, but make sure you scale up smart. So what do I mean by that? I mean that you want to get into a space where no one else exists if possible. You want to create your own niche, a bluer ocean strategy, if you will, so that you don't have to compete on price or you have to compete on commission. You want to create a space for yourself that differentiates you and your service and your product from everyone else. And what I mean by differentiating your niche is to do it through specialization. Specialization of focusing on a specific product type, a specific geographic area, or a specific price point. So in my particular case in commercial real estate brokerage, I talk about a different asset class being a different product type. Is it a hotel? Is it an office? Is it an industrial building? With regards to geographic area, I can be an expert in this particular community or in this particular business park. And with regards to price point, let's say, for example, I'm a real estate agent selling high-end luxury homes, or I could be that other real estate agent that focuses on condos at a lower price point or entry-level homes. So specialization can take on many forms, but those are 3 examples of it. What I would suggest you do next is to make sure you develop meaningful client experiences. Don't be transactional. So with that, you'll go deep. You'll make sure that you see things from their perspective. What is it that they want? What is it that they need? And what are the pain points that they're actually experiencing? And you're going to try to satisfy those. You want to walk away from each experience with a positive outcome, so much so that they would refer you to friends because they actually enjoyed the experience, or it was just that easy to do it with you. And so those meaningful experiences will lead you to become best in class in your niche. It's better to be known for you striving to be best in class than to be known as the guy who just did my last transaction. Make sense? And the last point I'll make on this is that you're going to take whatever you've earned from those encounters, those experiences, and you're going to reinvest it back into your business. So you're going to take 10%, put it back into marketing, 10%, put it back into self-improvement, another 10%, put it into the operational efficiencies or more productivity or tech or whatever you want. And that's how you're going to scale up slowly but surely. So just give it time. Lesson 2. Look, starting your own business can be really rewarding. You know, you get to do business with who you want, when you want, where you want, how you want. That's great. But ultimately, it's hard. So you got to pick something. And this is my second point. You got to pick something you're really passionate about. Look, when you're in business, it's not like you own a pet. Okay, so you're not going to be generally overseeing it through a leash about 20 feet away and making sure everything's okay. You're in it. You're all in it. Every day, every moment of the day. So I would say it's more like being in a marriage, a second marriage, or even worse yet, or let's just say even better yet, it's like having a child. And you've got to be attentive to it every moment of the day. In fact, when you own your own business, you're probably in that business more than you are sharing time with your family. So whatever it is that you do, be passionate about what you're doing so that it doesn't seem like you're ever working a day in your life. Point number 3. 3 things you got to know. Know your product, know your market, know your client. Knowing your product, whatever it is you're selling, in my case it's real estate. I better know real estate in and out better than my client can source out what they need themselves. The opportunities that are out there. You don't want them coming to you and saying, hey, I found this on the internet. Why aren't you able to bring these opportunities to me? Knowing your market means that you would understand the conditions that your client is facing right now. You would also understand the opportunities that are out there for them. Also the pitfalls that they need to avoid and the trends that are happening that'll take them to a solution in a better place in time. And lastly, you got to know your client. You got to know what pains that they're feeling and what problems they need solved with your help. Lesson number 4, develop a brand. As part of your effort to grow and scale, you need to establish a brand that differentiates yourself from your competition. So the first part would be getting people to know you. What is your brand all about? What does it stand for? So that logo lets people know that you exist, a stamp that you have arrived. Second thing you want to do is get people to like you. So you want to leverage social media as best as you can. You want to get to communities and outreach and meet as many people as you can so that they can then spread the word as to how good of a guy you are in your business, or how likable you are and how relatable you are. So that's important. The last thing it'll lead to is trust. You want to get people to trust you. And the way to do that is to demonstrate your expertise in what you do every chance you get, whether that is hosting an event, whether that is doing something like this, a video where you're just sharing your experiences, and hopefully it'll add value to people's lives. But getting to a place where people trust you enough to do business with you. Point number 5, you want to manage your expenses wisely. So as you're scaling up, it's great to have more revenue come in through the front door, but you don't want to lose it as it goes out the back door through all your expenses. So there are certain things that you can delegate, whether that's bookkeeping or whether that's other administrative tasks. But the thing that you got to keep an eye on is the money. It's in a sense a scorecard of how successful you are. So the more money you can retain, the more successful you're going to be. And so what you need to do is establish a dashboard. Starts off with a budget. These are my goals. This is how much resources I have to get to achieve those goals. And then you keep score from there. Part of the dashboard could also be key performance indicators. How many calls am I making? How many people I'm meeting? How many events I'm hosting? These are the things that are going to generate revenue. But on the other side, you've got to manage what goes out. So keep an eye on all the expenses, and those things, only keep those things in place that are helping you make more money or saving you from losing more money. Other than monitoring your cash flow, you want to understand what your break-even point is and make sure you're above that the whole time. So make sure you do the math before you get into this endeavor, and then from there you just scale up. And lesson number 6, you want to network like a beast. Relentlessly, all the time, every opportunity you can get. Join other people's communities or even host your own event, which is something that I recently did. I invited my VIP clients and their guests to come to a day of a lunch and learn where we had an exchange of insights. I got to tell them what was going on in the marketplace, and they got to tell me what was going on in their own businesses and the opportunities that could lay ahead. At the same time, they also had an in-person testimonial with their guests right there, sharing how we had the great experience of working together and that they can benefit from that too. So that is the power of networking. The more events that you can go to, or some of the events that you can host, that you can do this to yourself, you will expand on that community of people that know, like, and trust you. And that's how you scale up. And lesson number 7 deals with adaptability. What do I mean by that? Market conditions change all the time. And with that, so do the needs of your clients. So for instance, the work from home trend. If I'm in real estate and my client comes to me and says, hey, look, there are more people working from home. I don't need real estate anymore. So you better have some advice and some solutions that you can offer to help them mitigate all those problems. Lesson number 8 focuses on the client experience. Now, we touched on that a little bit earlier, but let's go into greater detail. We're talking from the moment of first impression all the way until we shake hands at the end at the completion of a transaction. So we want to put ourselves in the client's shoes. We want to understand what their expectations might be and imagine how they would like to be treated throughout the entire process. A happy customer is going to be a repeat customer. And a repeat customer is going to be one that gives you referrals. And that's where we're trying to get to when you're trying to grow your business and scale it up. We want to turn it on its head from 20% of the business being referrals and 80% of the business being new prospects to 80% of that being referrals and endorsements, and only the need for 20% more being new business and prospects. So as you have more referrals, more momentum that you're gaining, a lot easier it'll be to grow your business and scale up a lot faster. And lesson number 9 deals with leverage. Now, earlier we talked about leveraging people, networking in person, but sometimes it's not always feasible to do that. You only get so much reach. But if we can leverage technology, we can leverage marketing, digital marketing, it'll get you a wider audience so that the message gets out more frequently, faster, and at less cost per person. So the things that we want to embrace are things like ChatGPT, which will help us send the message out in a refined way, much faster. You don't have to waste so much time crafting up an email, crafting up a letter. The other things you might want to do is take on different apps. So for instance, I'm doing this on video. You might actually want to get a subscription to Canva or CapCut and create your own digital images and send them out and send out those messages to all your clients. You might actually want to have a social media presence on all the platforms, whether it's LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram. This way you can widen and have a broader reach for your message and have let's say a 24-hour presence online that you can't normally do when you're sleeping in bed or just working throughout the day and just working a telephone, and hopefully you're getting in-person meetings all the time. So this is going to allow you to scale up your business in a cost-effective manner that's not going to cost you a lot of time or money. So lesson number 10 deals with hiring wisely. You don't want to burn all your money on hiring new employees, especially when the revenue still isn't coming in at great scale. So one of the things you might want to consider is just hire virtual assistants to do the menial, repetitive tasks that are below your pay grade. And once you get up to scale, you can actually think about bringing in people into your office in person. People that are going to be there either part-time or full-time, but at least now you have enough work for them that it actually is cost effective. So start off with a cheaper solution in virtual assistants, and then as you scale up, actually have full-time people that you can actually bring in as part of your culture and build your brand based on that.